Hello folks, welcome to the 2020 virtual open house for conceptual geometry. My name is David Sharm. Here's a little background information. I got my bachelor's of mathematics from SUNY Geneseo a long time ago. I followed that up with a master's in computer education from Nazareth College. This is my 26th year of teaching. I've been at CA since 2000, and prior to that I taught 6 years down in Naples. So I've taught everything pretty much from Algebra 1 to pre-calculus, and even some computer science. A few years ago, we had a web design course at CA. I'm married, and I'm owned by our cat Max and our dog Bandit. And those of you that have pets know what I'm talking about. I coach the boys varsity and girls varsity tennis teams here at CA, and some of my hobbies and interests include outdoor recreation, hiking, photography, motorcycling, travel, tennis, and whenever possible, I try to combine as many of those as I can. Here's just a few pictures. Boys tennis team from a couple years ago, girls tennis team from last fall. Recent trip this winter, my wife and I took a road trip out west and got in the backcountry a little bit. Same thing with motorcycling. I like to kind of get off the beaten path. This past summer, we were able to get up to the Adirondacks for a stretch, and you can see a picture of my cat and dog there. If you ever meet me in person, you'll know why all of my clothes are covered in white fur. Anyway, on to conceptual geometry. So first thing I'd like to do is kind of go over what my Schoology page looks like and the important information that both you and your son or daughter can get from it. At the top is going to be the weekly calendar. So here's the weekly calendar for Cherry and then the weekly calendar for Gray. And that'll be updated every week, Sunday, 5 o'clock. You've been getting my Brave Square post, so you probably already know what that's all about. Next here we have my office hours Zoom link. And I don't have set office hours like a schedule, but what I told all of my students is to please contact me, send me an email, send me a Brave Square message to schedule office hours that work for that individual student, especially on the remote days. So far, I think things have been going really well. I haven't had a lot of requests for office hours, but that is always going to be active all year long. It's the same link. And below that is a math clinic Zoom link. The math clinic works like it has in previous years, where a math teacher staffs the clinic from periods 1 through 9. Unfortunately, this year, the math clinic is virtual because we're not allowed to meet one-on-one with students in a close environment. So that link is available for your son or daughter all year long. Then below that, in this folder here, you see student parent resources. I've got 2 copies of the course description. One of them is a PDF file, so you can just click on that, open, and read everything. Or if you'd rather watch a video where I kind of walk you through the course description, that's in the link below. Delta Math is the way we're going to do homework this year, and we're pretty well established with that at this point, so I don't think your son or daughter will have any issues with that, but if you're curious as to how it works, you can go on there and check that out. And then we have a Schoology tutorial, which is kind of funny that the Schoology tutorial is inside my Schoology page, but that's there anyway if you want to look at that and see what Schoology is all about. So after that information, what you're going to see are the units that we are covering. So Unit 1 we actually just finished up last week, but this is how it's going to be organized. At the top, you're going to see Cherry and Gray unit calendars. So that'll be the calendar for the entire unit, whether it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, however long it is, it details every single day. Then there's going to be a folder with the blank notes. So in case your child loses their note packet or doesn't have notes for a particular day, they can just open that up and download any of the notes for that unit. Then we'll have a note key. So this PDF file is basically a copy of all the filled in notes. But more important would be this folder here, our virtual lessons, because it's really hard just to look at a bunch of problems and learn how to do math from that. You need to see the sequence. You need to hear it explained. So what I'm doing this year, due to the hybrid model, is I am recording every single lesson that I teach. So your son or daughter has access to all of those. In Unit 1, obviously there were 10 of them, as you can see here. Each one of those is a link to a YouTube video where I basically walk everybody through the notes for that particular lesson. Following that, we have a homework folder, which we won't be using this year because we're doing Delta Math. And then after that is a folder that contains all the work sessions and the review and keys to those, so your child can go on and check their answers. Some syllabus highlights. I'm not going to go through the whole thing or read it word for word. You can go on my Schoology page and download it if you'd like. But I just wanted to point this out. This is in the syllabus, so it's got to be true. Challenging and fun course that's going to look at geometric relationships within and between figures and how we model those. So this is how your son or daughter's grade is going to be calculated. Unit tests and projects will be 50%, and that's down from last year in algebra. 20% will be made up from quizzes. 20% will be made up from the Delta Math assignments that your child does online. And then class participation is 10%. This is really meant to help the student. It's based on, you can read it here as well, but it's based on attendance and the level of engagement during remote days. So how often is your child logging on to Schoology or YouTube, watching the videos, filling in their notes on the days that they're supposed to fill in their notes, and completing the Delta Math homework assignments. Quizzes and tests, pretty self-explanatory. Final grade calculation for the year. Quarters 1 through 4 are 20% each. That makes up 80. We do have a midterm that will be given in class. That's going to be 10%. That is a comprehensive exam on all of semester 1. The final exam is also 10%, which is a comprehensive exam on semester 2. So the reason we do that is so your son or daughter doesn't have to remember semester 1 down the road in June. It's kind of like almost 2 separate semester courses. It all involves geometry, but they take a midterm on semester 1, then they can kind of put that stuff away and start fresh in February. And then in June, they'll take a final exam on just semester 2. This slide's important, so I am going to read it verbatim. Obviously, the greatest challenge this year will be the COVID-19 restrictions of a hybrid learning environment. More than ever, your child will need to be proactive and disciplined when it comes to organization and work completion. Remote days are not days off. It is imperative that the students establish a routine on the remote days and complete the assigned work. In addition, they'll need to take initiative when it comes to seeking help. I'm available for office hours on a regular basis. What can I do to help? Please let me know what I can do to assist your son or daughter in any way. If you notice anything at home, your child is struggling, you have concerns, just reach out to me and let me know. We're all in this together. It'll definitely take a team effort to get through the year. Don't hesitate to reach out. Let's make it a great year. Questions. As I just said, don't hesitate to reach out, all right, for any reason whatsoever. I'm usually really good about getting back within the day, if not on the same day. You can message me via Brave Square, or you can email me at the longest email ever, ducharmd@canandaiguaschools.org. Thanks a lot, folks. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.